10 participants, we have 4 women at the meeting, and then everybody is happy. There's 4 or 5 people. But it doesn't mean they made any meaningful contribution to the fisheries. That's the point. That's why it comes in.
I know the program that we've had over the years, and we talked about USA, or here, we've had this big gender component in there, and it's reporting on benchmarks and everything, but then maybe it's because of, when somebody's been driven but it has to happen, because otherwise we could sit around our own male-dominated room again, and it's
Unfortunately, we don't know what to do.
I have a question related to that. Obviously, there's requirements from donors that we all have to abide by and comply to. Obviously, there seems to be lip service to the work on gender analysis and all that. Whose responsibility is to monitor? Who does the monitoring? And I think this relates to the coordinated role of development partners and donors. Whose responsibility it is to do the monitoring, to ensure that what's on the paper is the reality on the ground?
you take the person who's implementing and then the project officer who's responsible for that.
I'm talking about the regional level.
That's what I'm saying. The person who's implementing, or the organization that's implementing, and the donor will also have a program person who's responsible for it. Hopefully it should.
We also think we should have ourselves.
Unless things have changed in the last 15 years, if it's not happening, the donors need to be answering questions.
And we've been gender analysis like increasing for the last 4 years. We're doing that collective information. I was part of doing female participation in fishing on the community where the more things. A lot of work is going on. What you're asking is how is it monitored? We have a point because how it's monitored, because sometimes when you're working in the field, it becomes a point that we ourselves ask how other donors monitoring it. They come at the end of the day for meeting, and sometimes you wish they had come to the field to see what you do. That's actually important place.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you raised the point, because that's actually maybe you remember when we had the forum on gender, GRI, and February, we had this session on where the needs in the future in regards to this topic. And clearly the audience or the participants also identified to have very clear indicators to actually help us towards the monitoring process to actually see whether it is just on paper or it has been really implemented.
Well, I'm thinking about the dialogue. We had a person that was commissioned by AUSAID and NZA to review their community development funds program. And the question that they asked us was, is the implementation of these community development initiatives, are they being linked to what our ministry was doing in the community? And I put my hand up and I threw the question back at them. What's the technical position of you as donors, of NZA and AUSAID? What do you think? Should it be done? Because if we were not involved in the planning process from the beginning, how then do you expect us to automatically link up when we get involved? So it comes back to coordination, and it comes back to the monitoring that's really done from the end of development partners and donors. So we're doing our monitoring as an integral part of implementation, but some kind of higher level monitoring to ensure that these things are happening.
But it raises all the question or the point again about actually having trainings on how to integrate agenda, you know, I mean, like also coming from the UNDP, I know that it has to be in our project and program and things, but I know that a lot of us struggle with it, you know, and we can easily just write some sentence on gender responsive project, etc. But I think sound understanding what does it actually mean to integrate gender or mainstream gender.
And then I would it's really different. I remember that it was the gender thing program that is specific. The gender thing program that is specific 2 years ago, there were about 100 professional staff and 150 support staff. More than 400 of us, 9 people signed up, 9. I was one of the 9 because I was asked to go to fill in the space. Because there was not enough people. I told the guy, I'm the most gender size person. I don't need to go to the music thing. But then that's the only reason we got at the level. And then we had like last year there was a gender study about group Pacific, gender studies, and we put out a paper for people to write in, and there was these people really strong people from Pacific that applied. I was on the committee, there was 5 men and me. I was fighting hard for them group to come in, and the only thing they had against them, this was especially that Rachel of Muslim below, she's a doctor and Dr. Hinaran, 45 people. And the only thing that came from the men was, no, this group cannot do it because they're all women. So it's not that bad. It's still a year, so it's not so it's a really thing of how we put that into policies and stuff.
Yeah, distinguished delegates have been talking. I tried to summarize it in this paragraph. Would you mind, Chair, drawing the attention of your delegation to this paragraph? It's this paragraph here on legislation. Call on all Pacific regional organizations, donors, civil societies and NGO to ensure that existing climate change and disaster risk policies and legislation are gender sensitive. Example, I tried to give some examples on all resource-based legislation, renewable energy, health, fisheries, marine food security. Just to put some language here.
Just flip-flop policies and legislation.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that later.
I'll fix it up.
Okay.
It would be just interesting it would be new and existing.
All new, existing and new. Existing and new,
okay. Yeah, and new, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe do
Oh, sorry. Climate change and switch policies and legislation.
I'll do it.
The other issue there is that you're talking about civic regional organisations, donors, civil service societies and NGOs, but none of those organisations have responsibility for legislation, so there has to be that Pacific governments ensure that, and then all that Pacific, all those groups advocate for it to be brought into.
So make it regional organization, governments.
Look at this because these guys support the national governments, huh?
To encourage all governments to ensure existing and new.
All governments?
No.
The Pacific organization.
Okay, go back there.
Yeah, take governments out. Come down to the end of the bracket by NGOs to encourage all governments to ensure existing and new, check out that.
Check out what?